So welcome everybody again for the second annual talk this morning. Today now we're gonna talk about why network sharing still struggles to scale and what's missing today. We have Oguz Oktay, founder and CEO of Teasol, with us today.
Hello.
And we're going to be discussing the network sharing has long been positioned as a practical way to improve coverage and reduce infrastructure costs, yet real-world adoption remains limited, not due to a lack of technology, but because of operational complexity and fragmentation and fragmented coordination. In this annual talk, we explore what continues to block scale in practice and what needs to change to enable neutral, interoperable collaboration across MNOs, MVNOs, neutral hosts, and private networks. So, August, the network sharing has been discussed for years. Why does it still struggle to scale?
Okay. Network sharing means sharing the mobile infrastructure, practically base stations, right? And then the technology is there. The standards are well defined for various versions of network sharing. And actually, there has been some implementations of it for rural areas. But again, it is not widely used. I mean, the economic advantages are there, but it's still not widely used. I think the main reason is the lack of collaboration between the operators.
Okay, so the lack of the collaboration, and why do you believe what do you believe is structurally missing? Is it only the lack of collaboration, or are there other things missing too?
Yeah, exactly. I think what is missing is the automation and the orchestration. So there are existing network sharing contracts. They are all done manually, and then they are specific to a certain case. Of course, there is automation. Service providers are using automation on the network management, but they are focusing on their internal network. They are trying to optimize their own network. So what is missing is kind of a overall orchestrator optimizing the networks between the service providers.
How does automation then change this dynamic?
Yeah. So if there was an umbrella orchestrator between the operators, first of all, this umbrella orchestration has to integrate with each operator. Operators' management systems, whether it is classical OSS, BSS, or the modern service management and orchestration solutions, it has to integrate and then get the data from the network, and based on that data, the orchestrator can predict where there is underutilized network, I mean unused network capacity, and when there is over demand. And then once we know that on the same platform, we can match. We can match the demand, whether it is a new service or existing service, and then let them run on somebody else's network, but where there is underutilization.
So basically optimizing the available the availability by making multiple use of other people from that same network and having some sort of payment system to make those transactions possible. Do I understand that correctly? Or?
Yes. And one more important thing is we have to, after sharing the network, we have to monitor. We have to monitor it to make sure that the SLAs are satisfied.
Okay.
And this umbrella orchestrator can do that.
Okay, interesting. So what needs to happen next, in your opinion, to?
I think we should get away from this manual collaborations, manual contracts. I think we should automate the collaboration between the service providers, of course, in the network sharing. So the collaboration will bring more structured, repeatable, and neutral, contracts. The neutral part is important. So if the umbrella system is neutral, then each service provider can trust the contracts created by that orchestrator. And on top of that, when we do the monitoring, it is also trustable between the service providers. I think this is what we need.
Okay. And well, I spoke to you some days ago, and you told me you are I don't know, the 20th something visit to Mobile World. So you're really somebody, I think, who has been long in this industry. So how come that this kind of opportunity by sharing these networks and sharing these possibilities only now has become to the light or seen as an opportunity? Or how is this field working?
So in the some years ago, I mean, the main competition between the service providers was the quality of their network, right?
Yeah.
So my network has better quality, more base stations, better coverage, right? But nowadays, these networks are getting the same quality level.
Yeah.
So the differentiation is no longer the network; it's getting commodity.
Maximum. Yeah, exactly.
So what they have to focus on is the services and applications running on the network.
Yeah.
And if they realize that, and if they focus on the services and applications, then networks can be shared between the service providers.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. I'm really a big favor of, sharing capabilities, so you don't have to have all the infrastructure everywhere. Rather, like optimizing your own business case by working together in that sense. I know there's also new territories. We from Ecosystem Services work, for example, also on a project called Connectivity Ecosystem North Sea, where we have a similar idea. Like, how do you enable fitting, durable, sustainable connectivity at the North Sea? And of course, the business case is completely different there because there's not as much use as there is on land. Do you feel that there is a possibility for this kind of concept there too? Like, could that be used in such situation as well, with all the difficulties and the weather
Yes.
and the sea
Yeah,
conditions,
exactly,
etc.?
exactly. Once we have the dynamic
Yeah.
network sharing and the dynamic and scalable network sharing, in case of a disaster or incident where the public safety needs to act on, we can create a slice or a network share and then
Okay.
allocate it to wherever those needs are.
And that's super interesting. And but you came with a new product to market
Yes.
only recently called Teasol. It's over there on the
Yeah,
board.
we are proud of that.
I can imagine, and I'm also really proud because you made a great preparation for Mobile World. I've been in contact with your team, and has been amazing so far.
Thank
So
you.
can you tell me a little bit more about how Teasol is filling up this gap and what Teasol can do for this?
Yes. So, I mentioned about this umbrella orchestrator between the operators. Teasol fits into that area. So what we are trying to develop is an orchestrator that can talk to each service provider and then other partners like neutral host providers, and private network providers, and then create a marketplace where the network infrastructure, the unused or underused network structure, can be shared by different parties who need actually that infrastructure. So that's what we are trying to achieve.
And so, if I try to make it into, we call that in Dutch Jip and Janneke language, which makes basic language, it doesn't mean like for the operators, their win in it is that they can maximize the use of their network, so optimize their business case by creating a business model for it. And for the end user, it can potentially mean you have connectivity on your phone or device or whatever hey, you use your SIM for, on a larger scale and a larger space. Is that summarized kind of what you guys enable? Is
Yes, actually the business case is already there. So the network providers, service providers, they are already partnering with MVNOs
Yeah.
who are running on their networks, right? But what we are trying to achieve with the TSOL is to automate it
Okay.
and then make it dynamic, so that the MVNOs can get what they need,
Okay.
not more than that or not less than that.
Yeah.
And then the service providers, the network owners, can monetize their network where and then when they are underutilized,
Okay.
not everywhere.
Oh, so it's super interesting. So, how has been the fair so far, Mobile World, and being first presenter here at the Netherlands Pavilion?
Yeah, so we are very new company, just 3 months old.
Yeah, I
We
know.
started developing the product in 2 months, but the reaction was incredible here with your
Fantastic.
help, with your organization help. We had a lot of visitors, a lot of interesting conversations, and then a lot of follow-ups actually.
That's amazing. I'm really happy to hear that. So we have about 1.5 days left. Any plans for those 1.5 days of what you still want to achieve for this week?
Reaching out to more, partners, collaborators, and customers as well, especially service providers,
Okay.
European-based service providers. That's our target customers.
Okay. Well, I'm very really interested, and I'm hoping for a lot of success for your company. And I know you already signed for next year with us.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to have
be
you
glad to
again,
be
and
here.
love to help you promote and yeah, bring you to the next stage in that. So thank you very much for your
Thank you.
contribution today. Thanks very much, and an applause for August.
Thank you.